Do you remember those foods you loved to eat as a child? The ones you went crazy for when you smelled them, and the ones you just couldn't get enough of? Well, I took a closer look at mine, and let's just say I was basically living off chemicals and sugar. Today, I'm gonna break down my childhood favorite foods and expose what really is in them. Spoiler alert, it's not pretty. From artificial flavors to gut-wrecking additives, some of these foods are way worse than I even realized. So hopefully by the end, I'll have ruined all of your favorite foods for you. Only kidding, but I do hope to get you thinking about what truly is in the food you're eating. And quick clarification before we start, because I'm pretty sure my mom watches all these videos. I do want to say that this is not a complete list of everything that I ate growing up. I did eat plenty of fruits, vegetables, nuts, eggs, healthy proteins, and was very well taken care of on the food front. The ones I'm going to talk about now are foods that I did eat frequently because I used to like them. All right, starting out here, we have Eggo waffles. We're in the breakfast category, just to clarify that. So Kellogg's Eggo home style. I'm pretty sure this is the exact kind I used to eat. The only difference was I used to eat the one, there were 4 mini waffles and they were all attached like into a little square, if that makes sense, instead of getting like these big round ones. Otherwise, same thing. Ingredients wise, as we go through these, you're gonna see some repetitive ingredients that were in a lot of the stuff. So enriched flour, basically this is just processed flour. Vegetable oil is also in here, which is obviously like not an oil that you really want to be having a lot of because it's more inflammatory, higher ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. So that's why you hear about vegetable oils being not as good. So that's a combo of soybean, palm, canola, and cottonseed oil. Added sugar. They kind of highlighted some of the negative ingredients general in this one already. That's the deal. Eggo homestyle waffles. Looks like there's butter on here. I actually used to do margarine, which I'll show you later, but I used to fill see all these squares? I used to fill every one of these squares with margarine up to the brim. Moving on, what we used to call butter. This is not butter at all. Very different. This is like a purified water, soybean oil, palm and palm kernel oil blend. So this is what I would consider actually margarine, and it's full of highly inflammatory oils. You're way better off just having butter. I'm not joking. Saturated fat used to get like a really bad rap. There are foods that have saturated fat in them, like salami or bologna, that are legitimately terrible options for you saturated fat wise and will be bad. But something like a regular butter with nothing added, that's going to be way better than this. I would not recommend anybody eat this. But yeah, this is what I used to fill every square in the old waffles with. I used to love it. It used to be great. Another note on this, can't believe it's not butter. So this lecithin, which comes from soy, contains small amounts of hexane, which is found in gasoline and petroleum. So they use it as a preservative, and like to no surprise, I don't think anything's going to be living or growing in gasoline. Next up, we have Cheerios. Fortunately, I was never like a big sugary cereal person, or just sugary stuff in general, like really sugary cereal. So this was really the one cereal that I ate. Ingredients wise, compared to a lot of stuff on here, like this isn't really that bad. So there's whole grain oats, added cornstarch, which isn't really, it's a thickener, so it's not really like awesome to have, and some added sugar. But otherwise, compared to other stuff on here, the Cheerios, like not a terrible option. This is a little nostalgic going through this. Let's move on to the lunch category. So we got hamburger helper, and we used to add just like regular ground beef to this, which is a good healthy protein. Ingredients wise, processed flour, got some cornstarch, some different type of cheeses, maybe somewhat questionable, bunch of food colorings, vegetable oil, yeah, added gums. The macaroni and cheese part, not great, but obviously like we added ground beef to it, so that helped with getting some good protein into it. Next up, so we're gonna go grilled cheese sandwiches. These, I'm sure everybody used to have these. I used to love grilled cheese. We just do regular white bread, couple slices, I think we did margarine each side. I don't think we ate butter ever. Maybe we did though, I can't really remember, but white bread. And then we would do these Kraft singles on here, which is, there is some cheese in it. There's just a lot of additives as well. Modified food starch, natamycin, which is a mold inhibitor. It's an antifungal, just to prevent like mold growing on food. I don't really like when these are in foods. Obviously the shelf life is a lot longer, so like in certain circumstances there is a legitimate problem getting food, this would be like something really useful. But I would say in most cases it's not really a necessity. It's just something added to try to not make the food go bad. But you're better off just having a regular block of like cheddar cheese and some sourdough bread and some regular butter. And if you want to make a grilled cheese sandwich, you can make an awesome grilled cheese sandwich just by doing that. All right, couple more honorable mentions now, I guess. I have them in the category. Maybe didn't eat these as frequently, but these Tyson Buffalo chicken strips. So these, you might be thinking, it's just chicken, can't be that bad. So the boneless, skinless chicken breast with rib meat, the first ingredient, that's great. The issue is I think all these other ingredients comprised the breading. I could be wrong about that, but the breading, if you read through this, it's gonna be sketchy again. So canola oil, which is a type of more inflammatory oil, corn syrup here, guar gum is a thickener, gonna be hard to digest stuff like that for a lot of people. Food starch, which is another thickener, natural and artificial flavors, polysorbate 80, which is a preservative, more soybean oil, more sugar, more gum, burning set in vegetable oil. So the chicken by itself, obviously, like, you're not gonna go too wrong with that, but the breading is pretty suspect. And then last one I'll have on here is Kraft mac and cheese. I'm not gonna put up an image just because the ingredient label is honestly like really similar to a lot of the other stuff that I showed before. And we used to add hot dogs. I'm from Buffalo, so there's a really popular brand in there called Salen's hot dogs, which I used to love. We used to eat them all the time, especially at the baseball field. We'd have a hot dog probably almost every day in the summer. So this was another common meal. All right, moving on to some desserts now. So these Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies, these were a pretty common cookie that we made in our house. Not that anybody really feels that cookies are good for you. I feel like that's not really like a thing, but the ingredients in here are kind of bad. If you want to see some better, healthier cookie options, I'm gonna link my cookbook down in the description of this video. If you want to have some desserts that actually taste delicious and are gut healthy for you, check this out. Vanilla ice cream was another huge one. I really only ate vanilla and not any other ingredients. Didn't really have a particular brand. We probably just got the store brand. Where I lived, we had Tops Food, and then Wegmans is a little bit more popular up in Buffalo in the Northeast. Maybe you've heard of it if you're from around there. So vanilla ice cream, just not vanilla bean because that flavor is terrible. All right, moving on to snacks. So these Totina pizza rolls, these were one of my favorites. These were awesome. I used to love these. 160 of them in this case. I could probably finish that in 4 sittings. I would say comfortably back then. 40 pizza rolls per sitting, that wasn't really much of a problem. This ingredient list, this is the craziest one I think I've seen ever on a food, or like a food product. I wouldn't even call this a food because it's something you eat, but it's completely different than, I would say, a food. So much stuff I could talk about on the ingredients list. This TBHQ down here is a preservative, also comes from a petroleum, like gasoline derived product. Not good. Goldfish, used to love these as well. Could finish this bag off no problem in one sitting. A lot of these ingredients, again, this is really repetitive, made with smiles. I mean, I was smiling when I eat them, but the ingredients do not make me smile. Processed flour, vegetable oil, a lot of the same stuff and the same foods as I aforementioned in the beginning of this video. We got any more? Yeah, pretzel rods. Yep, used to eat a lot of these as well. Even when I got more into high school, I'd look at more nutrition stuff. I would see like low fat and thought like this was like a really good snack. Compared to a lot of the other stuff, these are definitely not as egregious of a food. All right, moving on to candies. I'm not gonna link these up here because you probably know what they are, but Sour Patch Kids, Skittles, Swedish Fish, Freezy Pops. I think they're also called like Pop Ice. Nobody is gonna argue that these are good things for you to eat, but these are some of the sugary snacks that I like. Pretty much the only ones that I would have. And then finally, beverages. Honestly, I did really good at beverages growing up. I would say I was probably better than most kids. Didn't drink any sodas or pops. I didn't really drink any juice after the age of 4, not even orange juice for breakfast. I would drink water and then a lot of milk, usually skim milk, which compared to having a soda is 100 times better, assuming you don't have a dairy sensitivity. At least it's nutrient dense and it doesn't have all these chemicals compared to sodas, even diet sodas. All right, that is all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you get notified every time I post new content. If you're new to my channel, I post a new full-length video every Monday in YouTube Shorts throughout the week. Since you watched till the end, I think you're gonna enjoy one of these 2 videos next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.